Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Mags. So it's the 2nd of December and Newcastle United's players have returned to training just like most other clubs have returned to training for the players that aren't at the World Cup, which is interesting because we're getting to hear a little bit more news on the club side of things, which I will talk a little bit about, of course, in another video up on the channel today. But as for this video, this is just going to be the preview for the England game against Senegal. We're going to talk about, of course, my thoughts heading into this game now. This is the first time England have played Senegal in our history, to my knowledge. Of course, correct us if I'm wrong down in the comments below. But this is the first time, from what I know, that we have played Senegal in our history. It's going to be an interesting game. It's around the 16 tie, so the World Cup continues on for us. The Welsh, unfortunately, ended in misery as they went out of the group stages after about 64 years, I think it was, that, of course, they hadn't been in a major tournament before. But they, of course, went out in that. Now it is England versus Senegal in the round of 16. If we make it past Senegal, of course, on Sunday, 7 o'clock kickoff here in the UK, 10 o'clock kickoff out at Qatar, in course, where the World Cup is taking place, then, of course, we do have a matchup against either France or Poland, whoever is the winner of that game, in a quarter-final game. So it's going to be an interesting one if we do make it past Senegal, because we could be up against the defending champions, France. Of course, if they make it past Poland, which you would expect them to make it past Poland. But like I say, it's going to be an interesting game because this is the first time England and Senegal have played each other, so it's an unpredictable game. We don't know how Senegal are going to go about this game as well. They did pretty well in the group stages, I've got to say, to make it this far. So, you know, it's pretty impressive that they have made it this far. I thought they would have been a team that would have went out in the group stages, but they've made it through to the knockout stages now. And, you know, it's up to us to make sure that they don't make it any further and we make it into the quarterfinals. At the very least, a quarterfinal spot would be really good for us, you know. If we could make it further than that, then that would be amazing. But to do that, we're going to need to play more attractive football. The last two games for England in the group stages, yes, we won the game against Wales. We drew against America, which wasn't great. It was very boring, that match, I thought. You know, if you want to really hear my thoughts on that, then you can go back and watch the review, what I did on that game. But the Wales game, again, you know, was, yes, we won it, but it looked very lackluster still. We didn't really impress too much in the game, you know, and it did take a little while to get the lead in the game as well. We gave up the ball quite a bit in that game as well against Wales. Hopefully, you know, we can go into this game, we can show that we are a team to beat in this tournament. There's still some pretty big teams in there. There's Spain in there. Spain almost went out yesterday, of course, when Costa Rica took the lead against Germany, until, of course, Germany scored their goal, which of course put Spain back into the competition. But Spain won nigh on out of the competition yesterday through, of course, Costa Rica taking that lead over Germany. But there's quite a few big teams went out the tournament as well. We've seen Germany go out, we've seen Belgium go out, you know, we've seen quite a few big nations going out of the World Cup already. There's still quite a few of them in, obviously, with Brazil still in the competition, France still in the competition, Spain still in the competition as well. Three teams that I think will be the teams to beat if you want to win this World Cup. So it's going to be an interesting game against Senegal. You know, I think Southgate needs to play Callum Wilson. Harry Kane is looking way too defensive for me. He's sitting in the midfield way too much. He needs to be, you know, a bit more central, a bit more up the field, you know, stay in that attacking position. You don't need to come back and help out in the midfield or the defence. You know, the defence has got it, the midfield's got it, they know how to do their job. You know, Harry Kane's job is just to stay up top, stay central, try and get the balls when they come to you. You know, there's a lot of passes being played in by the likes of Kieran Trippier. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Trippier start from the off in the game against Wales, but he did come on as a substitute to take the place of Luke Shaw at left back. As Kyle Walker got the start ahead of Trippier in the game against Wales. But I think that will be something that Southgate will change in this game against Senegal. I think he will be playing Trippier from right back position. He will be possibly going, I'd hope, with Callum Wilson up top, or maybe we'll see a Christmas tree formation and, you know, England going with a 4-4-2. It's not something that we've seen a lot these days in modern football. It's a little bit archaic in a way. Not many teams go with a 4-4-2 formation these days, but it would be nice to see, you know, if he does want to play Harry Kane, then play a 4-4-2, have Callum Wilson playing alongside Kane, go for the power and speed against Senegal. We definitely need that speed from Callum Wilson against Senegal because they've got a very slow defence, so the speed from Wilson would really help, you know, on the attack as well. The pressing game that Wilson can give to England as well when he is on the field is immense. Callum Wilson doing that is just, you know, the best way forward to be able to press hard and attack. Kieran Trippier can do it as well, obviously, because, you know, that's the way us play at Newcastle United. So that's the way, you know, that Kieran Trippier is going to play, Callum Wilson's going to play. It would be nice to see Nick Pope get a start in the game as well. But, you know, Jordan Pickford hasn't been doing too bad. So I can see, you know, him still having that number one spot for England. But it's going to be an interesting game. I'd go England to come away from it 3-0 winners against Senegal. Progress through to the next round, of course, which would be the quarterfinals. And, you know, hopefully we can get an easier tie. And hopefully Poland can do the unthinkable and beat the defending champions in France and make themselves the team to go through into the quarterfinal and face us. But I cannot see that being the case, unfortunately. I can see France making it past Poland and us going into the quarterfinals against France, past Senegal, of course. And then, you know, whatever happens, happens at the end of the day. At the very least, would make the quarterfinals if the inevitable happened, you know, and we go out of the World Cup. Hopefully, it's not the case, you know, but I'm not going to be too disheartened if we do at the end of the day, because that does mean that then, you know, where players can come back to club level, they can get ready for the restart of the Premier League, you know, on the 26th of December when we take on Leicester. Just like the rest of the clubs, you know, I'm sure the fans of them clubs will be thinking the same, you know, won't be too disheartened because then Premier League starts back up again not that long away. So it's going to be an interesting one, but I'd say 3-0 England against Wales. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Keep an eye out for the other video on the channel. Like I say, there's going to be some Newcastle United news coming up on the channel today as well. Until next time, I'll see you all later, and how are the lads?